The current unrest in Bangladesh, marked by widespread riots and significant casualties, represents a profound crisis with deep-rooted socio-political and economic causes. Since the protests began, more than 300 people have died in clashes between protesters and police, reflecting the severity of the situation. This analysis delves into the factors driving the unrest, the government's response, and the broader implications for Bangladesh's socio-political landscape. The initial spark for the protests was the reintroduction of a controversial quota system for government jobs. This quota system, perceived as discriminatory and unfair, ignited widespread public outcry, particularly among the youth and civil society groups. The discontent quickly evolved into a broader movement against Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government, demanding her resignation and calling for greater democratic reforms. Economic factors have also played a crucial role in fueling the unrest. Despite notable economic growth under Hasina's administration, high inflation and persistent unemployment have created widespread economic dissatisfaction. Many Bangladeshis feel left out of the economic benefits, leading to frustration and anger against the government. This economic discontent has been a significant driver of the protests, amplifying the calls for change and reform. The government's response to the protests has been marked by a heavy-handed approach. The imposition of a shoot-on-sight order and a strict curfew highlights the government's intent to suppress the unrest forcefully. Reports of security forces, alongside plainclothes individuals, using excessive force against protesters have raised serious human rights concerns. Protesters have been beaten with hammers, sticks, and other weapons, leading to widespread condemnation from human rights organizations. Moreover, the government has implemented internet blackouts, affecting social media and communication services. This move aims to hinder the protesters' ability to organize and communicate, further stifling freedom of expression and assembly. Such measures have drawn criticism from international observers, who argue that the government's actions are undermining democratic principles and human rights in Bangladesh. The ongoing unrest in Bangladesh has significant implications for the country's socio-political future. The protests have exposed deep-seated grievances and dissatisfaction with the current administration, signaling a potential shift in the political landscape. The calls for Prime Minister Hasina's resignation and greater democratic reforms reflect a growing demand for political change and accountability. The economic factors driving the protests also highlight the need for comprehensive economic reforms to address high inflation and unemployment. The government's failure to address these issues adequately has contributed to the public's frustration and anger. Moving forward, any efforts to stabilize the situation will require addressing these economic grievances and ensuring more inclusive economic growth. The human rights concerns raised by the government's response also underscore the need for greater respect for civil liberties and democratic principles. The heavy-handed suppression of protests and restrictions on freedom of expression have drawn international condemnation, potentially affecting Bangladesh's global standing and relations with other countries. Conclusion: the current unrest in Bangladesh is a manifestation of deep-rooted socio-political and economic issues. The protests, initially sparked by discontent with a controversial quota system, have evolved into a broader movement against Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government. The heavy-handed response by the authorities, marked by excessive force and restrictions on civil liberties, has further fueled the unrest and drawn widespread condemnation. Addressing the root causes of the unrest will require comprehensive economic and political reforms. Ensuring more inclusive economic growth and addressing high unemployment and inflation will be crucial in alleviating the economic discontent driving the protests. Additionally, respecting civil liberties and democratic principles will be essential in restoring public trust and stability. The government's ability to address the protesters' demands and implement meaningful reforms will play a pivotal role in shaping Bangladesh's socio-political landscape moving forward. The situation in Bangladesh remains fluid, and the coming months will be critical in determining the country's future trajectory. Thank you for watching our latest video on the unrest in Bangladesh. Your support means the world to us at the Review channel. We strive to bring you comprehensive and insightful analyses, and your feedback helps us improve. We hope you found our analysis informative. Please continue to like, comment, and share our videos. Your input is invaluable, and we look forward to bringing you more quality content. Stay tuned and stay informed. Best regards, the Review channel team.